Welcome to Stormy Willow, where we explore the paranormal, celebrate the odd, and never trust the living. I'm your host, Adele, calmly dying.
And I'm your host, Sarah, Feminist School.
Yeah, so here we are.
If we sound confused, it's because we probably are.
Just kind of taking in January.
I mean, we're on day 12, Adele. It's been a wild ride, guys.
Yeah, so if you're not freezing, you're probably on fire. But either way, we hope you're okay.
Yes, we hope you're okay wherever you are listening. It's been a lot.
There's a lot going on, but some bad choices can make you laugh. And I have one of those today for Booger News, if you'd like to hear.
I love people making bad choices that we can be like, hey, at least we're not dealing with that.
Yeah, so let's take our minds off of all the turmoil and bullshit going on in the world and listen to some poor choices and poor parenting.
Oh no, not poor parenting. No.
Oh yeah, this is bad.
Jeez. Okay. All right.
We're probably related to these people somehow.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I have a great one. This is one of the best Booger News stories I've heard in a while.
All right.
This is coming from Oddity Central. And I'll just read it. Here we go. So, tattoo artist sparks controversy by tattooing 9-year-old girl.
Yep. I know this one.
Yeah, I've been seeing it around TikTok. Kind of thought it was fake, then investigated and found out it's real. So, this is coming at you, as I mentioned, from Oddity Central. And an Arizona tattoo artist has come under fire for tattooing an American flag on a 9-year-old girl's arm after she asked to get Trump's portrait on her neck. A video posted on social media by a tattoo artist at the Black Onyx Empire Tattoo Parlor. Tattoo Parlor.
You're just so upset. You can't even get it out.
Can't. The Black Onyx Empire Tattoo Parlor in Yuma, Arizona, has been getting a lot of attention online because it shows a 9-year-old girl getting her arm tattooed. Shared by the artist, who goes by Cutsoza on Instagram, the video sparked a heated debate about inking minors, even with their parents' consent. So don't worry, her parents gave consent to this. So according to the artist, the girl and her parents traveled to the tattoo parlor from out of state specifically to get a tattoo. She initially wanted a portrait of Donald Trump on her neck, but Sosa allegedly convinced her to get something more patriotic done, as U.S. flag on her arm.
I appreciate that. I mean, so far that's the most logical thing that's happened. Like, let's rethink that.
Yeah. So Sosa recently said to Mel Online that he tattooed the girl's arm a year ago and told her to spend a year thinking if she really wanted to get it, and if she did, he would consider doing it. So the girl returned with her parents last month asking for a touch-up on the red.
Already?
Yeah, what is she doing? You got to keep that thing out of the sun, little kid.
Yeah. Come with responsibility.
Yeah, so she needed the red already touched up, and she also changed her mind about the neck tattoo. So, good move there.
To not do it.
Yeah, she said.
Okay, sure. I was like, oh no.
I guess she feels patriotic enough with just the American flag right now at 9 years old.
Good choice.
Technically, all 50 U.S. states have statutory laws banning minors from getting tattooed, but some states, like Arizona, have exceptions for children who get their parents' approval for a tattoo. That's ridiculous to me. So you can, tattoo your child in Arizona, but I'm pretty sure in South Carolina or some states like that, you still can't even get hand tattoos.
That's
what?
Crazy.
Yeah, so,
Can you imagine the shit we would have done if we knew about this? And, how we would regret it?
Actually, I bet I would have such cool tattoos now.
I don't know.
I would probably have, a Rocco's Modern Life tattoo, and I would probably get that now. I don't know.
I don't know, but oh my god.
Wow. Yeah, so Sosa didn't do anything illegal, but some of
Right.
his peers wonder if his decision was an ethical one. So it's an ethics question, it's not a legal question.
That's a
Um,
tough one.
you can see the video on Instagram and YouTube. The child got it like on her top bicep, like freaking what's his face, Guile from Street Fighter. Quote, it is one of the most frustrating things about our career field, and in Arizona, where it has no regulations, Ben Shaw with the Alliance of Professional Tattooists said, it can give us professionals a bad reputation. If you see a
Sure.
10-year-old child with a professional tattoo and they say they got it at a tattoo shop, that degrades us all. After photos of the 9-year-old getting tattooed went viral on social media, Sosa tried pushing back against his critics, claiming that the girl and her parents are from Turkey. Wow, did they travel? I guess, if that's where they came from. And they have a tradition of getting tattoos. Still, the tattoo artist admitted that his controversial decision to tattoo the young girl attracted a lot more criticism than he expects.
I'm sure it did.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
this 9-year-old has a tattoo.
I did too, and it was called bazooka. Okay, or the little fake tattoos. I would load my arm up with them. There you
Dude, those
go.
things should stay on for a while.
They
Those
would stay on for
quote
a while.
unquote temporary tattoos you would get out of like the quarter machine at the
Mhm.
pizza parlor. Those
And
things
I
should
feel like with
stay
today's
on.
technology, they probably are even better than what we had growing up. So like maybe
Yeah.
stick with the tattoos for a little bit. Like, like, oh no. Like I don't know.
I kind of want
I
to
don't
hear more
know.
about this family.
I want to hear more about the family. And it's like one of those situations where they like, did the parents, were they like, if we don't take her somewhere professional, she's gonna fucking do it herself and hurt herself.
Right?
Like what was like I would like to hear more from their angle. Although I'm really glad he talked her out of that neck tattoo of Donald Trump. I think that she would 100% regret that. So I mean, good talk down there, you know. Um, but yeah, that's a still what did you do over Christmas break? I went ice skating. I got this present from Santa. I got some fresh ink. Like,
I got to touch up.
whoa.
I got to touch
Uh,
up on my flag. These colors don't
yeah.
bleed.
I'm like, holy shit. And tattoos are a lot of responsibility as far as like especially that healing process. And I don't know if at 9 I would have been there, like to
I
do all the
mean, I will admit though, the tattoo does look good. He did a good job. It's very
yeah.
clean. Like
Mm-hmm.
it looks like it healed very well, so I have
I
no
think
complaints
he
about his artistry.
I think maybe he took what could be like, there might have been somebody out there that would have given her that neck tattoo, and I'm glad that he took that into consideration.
Yeah, that was probably a good middle ground. She
Yeah,
can grow
because I
up and
got
not regret that. I mean, it's the American flag. It means a lot to many
what?
different people,
Yeah, so maybe,
you know.
but still, yeah, I mean that is a lot. But yeah, I would like to know more about this family dynamic and like, did they do it because she's gonna hurt herself or get a disease, so she's gonna get one of her friends to tattoo her, like in her kitchen. I mean,
Yeah,
very much like
like
me and like when I was obsessed with piercings, like I really wanted my belly button ring. Granted, I was 16, but mom and dad were like, if we don't take her somewhere clean, she's gonna probably go do it
to her
herself.
cousin Dwayne's.
Yeah, so they're probably like, we're
And
gonna just
Dwayne
go
and
ahead.
Danielle are gonna do it in the bathroom
Yeah, it's like let's just go
with a
ahead and take her
potato and a
somewhere.
needle.
That's right. Let's just take her somewhere we know. So it could be one of those situations. Like we're not judging here at Stormy Willow. We don't judge, but
I mean,
wow,
it,
like
it is kind of curious. I don't know. Like, is there anything that your 9-year-old is so passionate about that's permanent that you would maybe give in on?
I don't know.
I don't
Mom,
know.
would you have allowed this? I can't wait to get the email we get from our mom. Like after she listens to the episode, we get like email after email, like major fan mail. So I know she's gonna have some advice on this one, guys. Maybe we'll follow up next week with Sandy's thoughts.
I mean, I'm just thinking back at 9 and the
No.
tattoo ideas I would have had, they would have actually probably been better than the ones I think of
Duh.
now. It would have been like Yoo-hoo, Hogs.
You probably still would have had a boiled peanut, so that would like you do now. So
Like
that would
I don't
The
know.
only one that might be bad is you might have gotten a Beanie Baby. You might have lived to regret the Beanie Baby.
I would still be kind of funny to a little bit ironic, or just the tie tag, just the tie. Like I am a Beanie Baby. Just put it on my butt like a little tag.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's
I
not a bad.
don't
That
know.
would be right. That's actually not a bad idea.
I feel like this is where I should have been all along. I'm gonna start thinking about tattoos through my mind as a 9-year-old because these are brilliant. These are the
I
best
mean,
tattoo ideas I've had in years.
and honestly, like you said, I mean, she ended up getting an American flag, which like
It's timeless.
it's timeless. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not like she got something that I think she will regret necessarily.
Yeah, like you can be, yeah, the American flag. That's solid.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't. What do you guys think about this, parents?
Yeah.
Would you do it?
9-year-olds, would you do it?
I don't know if at nine. I don't know. I feel like I was kind of fearless at nine, so I probably those would have been the years maybe to get some fresh ink. Honestly,
I
I'm
feel like
like,
I
oh
didn't feel
yeah,
pain then. I was so not squeamish. I could deal with blood and scrapes.
yeah. Like maybe
Maybe,
this kid's onto something.
maybe this is how it should go. Maybe you should get them when you're young. That
Yeah,
young.
because I bet it, I bet it healed beautifully. Got that fresh skin. It's
Because
probably
like
looking so
in
pretty.
college, I'm glad I didn't do it, but I really wanted to get like a Tegan and Sarah tattoo, and that didn't last. But shit I liked when I was 9, I still
It's
like.
still like now, yeah, it's solid.
I don't know.
I
I think
don't
this
know.
kid
I
might be
mean,
onto
I might
something.
change my perspective a little bit on this.
Yeah.
Think you're your true self at nine
Yeah, like that's before you get brainwashed
and get something
and like
stupid.
really,
Yeah,
really influenced by pop culture and school and church and
yeah.
adults.
I mean, I don't know, guys.
Let us know what you think.
It's a tough
But other than
one.
that, let's see how the fuck this week is gonna go, shall we?
Wow, well, we're already off to such a great start. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
I mean, I looked it up and it was just a dot dot dot. There was no forecast for this.
It
It just burst into flames. Um,
was like we don't even the stars don't even tell us anymore, okay? They
Stars
have
fell out of
no
the
words.
fucking sky.
They have no words.
They left. They left your
They left.
solar system.
Yeah, they left the solar. The solar system has peaced out.
The stars have left the building.
They left on Elvis's 90th.
He was like, thank you very much, taking everything with me." Okay, but yeah, let's just hear it. Let's
Let's
just
just
hear it.
do it.
But my prediction is no matter what the forecast says, you're still gonna feel shitty, and shitty stuff is gonna go on around you. That's
That's
just my
probably
opinion.
true.
So let's see how it's supposed to go according to the stars. So this is your astro forecast for January 12th through the 18th, 2025. Oh my God, I really didn't think this is what the future would be like. But here we go. I was just thinking back as my 9-year-old self, contemplating
Step out of
tattoos,
it.
thinking about what 2025 would be like, and this is not what I imagined.
Yeah, you thought we went back to 1955, you see. That's what
Ugh,
happened.
yeah. So, your cosmic weather report. So, Sunday, January 12th, cloudy with a chance of reflection. That's all we're doing these days, is just sadly wrapped up in our blankets, reflecting about shit, it
Just
seems.
like, it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. That's me, curled up in my blanket, just thinking back the good old days.
That's you. Yeah.
I got,
Well, maybe
I
that will
got
be
your
all of us.
forecast, guys. No, I'm kidding.
And that's it. Just curl
That's
up in
your
a
forecast.
blanket. But yeah,
Rock yourself gently like a child.
just I don't know. I don't know. Put yourself in a coma. That's what we need to do. But anyway, yeah, we have a waning moon in Sagittarius. What that means, a day for introspection and tying up loose ends. Hopefully, because things are ending in a good way. I don't know. Sagittarius energy urges you to seek clarity about your big picture goals. Implications. You might feel restless or caught between optimism and doubt. That's like where I live. Avoid impulsive decisions and let the haze clear first.
So
Haze,
maybe don't
that's
get a
kind
tattoo,
of messed up.
kids. Wait, kids, to get a tattoo.
Yeah, maybe it's just like flights of fancy and you need to see if you want it in a week.
That's right.
Signs most affected, of course, Sagittarius, but also Pisces and Gemini. Your minds are running in circles.
Oh
So, hey,
no.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
some of that too, guys. All right, then Monday, January 13th, emotional downpour alert. Woohoo! So we have a new moon in Capricorn, and this is a time to plant seeds for long-term growth. So Capricorn energy demands practicality and realism when setting intentions. So you may feel a bit overwhelmed by responsibilities, but this is a chance to commit to something meaningful. Write down goals and take small steps to get started. Signs most effective: Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. You're in your element, but the pressure's on. So
On a
great.
Monday too.
Yeah.
Growth.
So Tuesday, January 14th. Foggy morning, clear afternoon. So asteroid event. Moon shifts into Aquarius. The Aquarian moon brings fresh energy, innovation, and an urge to break free from rigid routines.
Yeah.
Ideal for brainstorming and trying new approaches, but avoid emotionally charged conversations. That's everything, so talk to nobody that day.
Yeah.
This moon can make you seem detached. That's okay for right now, I think. Everybody needs to be a little
Same.
bit detached.
Yeah.
Signs that will be most affected: Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini again, man. You're going through
And
it.
Gemini, you got a rough week.
Yeah.
Maybe go and take that PTO like, if you have it.
Yeah, it says your creative juices are flowing. So I don't know, you're having your ups and downs this week,
Yeah.
Gemini. All right, Wednesday, January 15th. Clearing skies. Finally, Mercury goes direct. I don't even
I'm
care
sick of
anymore.
Mercury, man.
Like, I
I'm
don't
so
even
sick.
give a shit. I could give two shits less about this. Usually I'm all like, oh, yay, Mercury. Everything's gonna be better. No, it's not. Anyway, Mercury stations direct in Capricorn. The planet of communication and travel ends its retrograde, meaning tech issues, misunderstandings, and delays start to smooth out.
All right.
Implications: it's a good day to revisit conversations or projects that felt stuck. My whole life has felt stuck for this last year. Like, come on. Clarity and forward momentum are on the horizon. Yeah, right. We'll believe that when we see it. Most affected, Gemini.
Oh man,
Again.
Geminis. If you've got a friend
Virgo.
that's a Gemini, you gotta check on them this week.
Jasmine, I'll be texting you.
Yeah, Denise, Austin.
Yeah, they're going through it. So Gemini,
Yeah, they are.
Virgo, and Capricorn. Specifically Virgo, your ruler is back on track. And Capricorn, time to act on those plans. All right, and then Thursday, January 16th, breezy with a touch of idealism. So Venus in Aquarius trines Moon in Aquarius. Relationships and social connections feel light and stimulating. It's a day to think outside the box and engage with others in creative ways. Perfect for networking, making new friends, or tackling team projects. Avoid clinging to old dynamics. Embrace the new. Signs most affected: Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Uh,
Oh, dang.
but your charm is magnetic today, Gemini. So there's that.
Okay.
All
That's
right,
good.
and then
That's good.
let's see how the weekend's looking. So Friday, January 17th, steady skies, grounded energy. The moon shifts into Pisces. Emotional and intuitive energy rises as the
Mhm.
Pisces moon brings a dreamy, compassionate vibe. It's a good day for creative pursuit, self care, or connecting with your spiritual side. Watch out
Okay.
for escapism, though. Keep one foot on the ground. Signs
Aw.
most affected: Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio.
Hey, see, I already didn't want to keep any of my limbs on the ground. I was like, I'm gonna get into it.
Yeah, as emotional depths intensify for Scorpio. Okay, and then Saturday, January 18th, calm before the next storm.
Oh God,
So,
that could be the inauguration on
oh
Monday.
God, yeah, who fucking knows? Jeez.
Oh God.
Well,
Okay.
okay, whatever happens, happens, right? It's the stars. We're just the messengers. Um, Moon in Pisces sextiles Uranus in Taurus. I'm assuming it's going to be a Uranus based on.
I don't feel a Uranus.
I
I
think
feel
it's
a
going to
Uranus
be a Uranus.
straight up. Yep.
Um, a spark of inspiration might hit out of the blue. Expect Expect unexpected but pleasant surprises, especially related to finances or creativity. Use
Okay.
this energy to break away from routine and embrace spontaneity. It's an excellent day for art, meditation, or simply enjoying the unexpected.
Okay.
Signs most affected will be Pisces, Taurus, and Aquarius. And that's it for this fucking week.
Wow. All
Ew.
right.
I don't like
That's
it. I
great.
don't like this at all.
Fun. Sounds great.
Okay, yeah. Well, back to you. Hopefully you have something uplifting.
I don't. Listen here, guys. So, if you will recall last week, I was tasked to find you a lore, which we love here. And before I get started, I just wanted to give credit where credit is due. Thank you to James Mooney's Myth of the Cherokee, Ancient Stone Forts of the South, and Haunted Hills and Hollows by Timothy Yohe. And of course, I just had to thank my AI buddy, Chat GPT for, I'm sorry, yeah, Chat GPT for helping me put this all together. So, have you ever heard of the Moon-Eyed People of Appalachia?
Vaguely. I think I've heard
Okay.
about them in other lore.
Yeah. Well, these are some nocturnal builders that most people, I had never really heard of them. So we're basically going to be packing our bags and headed to the misty hollers, if you will, of Appalachia to uncover a tale as mysterious as it is baffling. So picture this: pale, ghostly figures, stone walls, older than your grandma's cast iron skillet, and people that only come out at night.
Those
I'm
sound
not
like my
talking about
people.
me.
Oh,
Like, I'm not talking about me or you.
different.
This would be the legend of the Moon-Eyed People, but maybe they're in our ancestry.
We're probably related to them.
We're probably related.
It's probably the same people that give their kids like tattoos at 9.
Probably. I mean, I feel like we have a lot in common with the Moon-Eyed People. And I mean, honestly, like the location checks, we have big eyes. We're
We're
fair
really pale.
skinned.
Like,
We could be related.
yeah.
So sit back, grab a flashlight, and let's unravel this mystery. Because this story is going to have you question everything you know about history, folklore, or maybe even aliens. I don't know. We'll see what you think. So who were the Moon-Eyed People? Well, besides me and Adele, that have obviously lived to tell you about us,
We're our
this
ancestors.
actually dates back to this is Cherokee lore.
Oh,
So
well, maybe it could be.
yeah, we're going way, way back. So this is a Cherokee legend, and they describe the Moon-Eyed People as short, pale-skinned folk who are highly sensitive to light. Now, when I say highly sensitive, it doesn't mean they're like, oh, I need to put on some sunglasses. It's a little too bright out here for me. I'm talking vampire, I will melt situation if I come out into the sun.
I mean,
so they were when I say nocturnal, not that they didn't like the darkness, they really could not be in it. So
but they do sound like vampires so far.
they do, don't they? So these beings supposedly lived in caves or underground dwellings that only emerged under the cover of darkness, obviously. So they were basically, one might say, the original night owls, minus the caffeine addiction and maybe doom scrolling. And so here's the kicker. The Moon-Eyed People didn't just lurk in the shadows, okay? So according to this Cherokee lore, they built massive stone structures. And there's still one part of it in existence today. If you ever find yourself in Fort Mountain, Georgia, there's a state park. And there is this crazy, mysterious wall that are basically made of stacked stones, but there was no mortar or anything used to keep them together. And it has lasted. I'll tell you more about it. They did just kind of crazy building like that with what, so it's kind of mysterious there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just kind of get into to a not so friendly eviction that they got. So now, if you're wondering why you don't see moon-eyed people maybe hanging out at your, local Waffle House after dark, or you've never heard of them, it's because it is said that the Cherokee actually drove them out. So they were like, "This is our land, motherfuckers. Peace out." So the story goes that the moon-eyed people were no match for the Cherokees. Okay, um, they either fought them off or gave them the ancient equivalent to a get out of here or else kind of situation, like, "This is our land, go." And so the legend doesn't really specify where the moon-eyed people went, though they did retreat. I mean, like their stories, like, maybe they went deeper underground, maybe they moved to the next Hollar, or maybe they got aboard their UFO and pieced out. So it's kind of a mystery, and we're going to get into some of these. So, of course, Cherokee oral history is rich with tales, right? So we've heard of, like, all kinds of tales from the Native American people. And so the Moon-Eyed people, like, basically fit into this spooky tapestry of their lore. And they were seen as, like, other, like, not quite human, and they weren't really entirely supernatural either. So it's almost like they're like this ambiguity. I cannot say that word. Ambiguity, right? Which makes it even creepier. It's like, you're not really human, you're not really alien, like, you're this hybrid. That's kind of how the lore describes them.
I wonder why the natives didn't like them.
I know, which is weird, right? Because
it's like they aren't even out at the daytime. Like,
it's like, I hate to tell you, like, you probably should have, like, done this with us when we came over. You might have been okay with the Moon-Eyed people, you know.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of theories about this one, okay? About, like, who they were, what they were they really anything?
Why were they called moon-eyed?
Why were they called moon-eyed people? So let's jump into some theories. So there are some ideas about it, and we're going to discuss them all, and then maybe kind of think about what you might think that they were. The very first one off the bat is they're just albino indigenous people. So one, probably the most straightforward theory, is that the Moon-Eyed people were an albino population of Native Americans. And like, if you were albino, it would definitely explain, like, your sensitivity to the sunlight, your pale skin. But why would an entire group of albino people congregate and build stone walls? Like, what? Was it to maybe keep Cherokees out, or did they just prefer, like, a nocturnal lifestyle? So there's really not anything to this part of this story. Like,
and why is there such a substantial population of albinos? Like, just because you're an albino doesn't mean your children are going to be, right? Like, I don't know about the genetics of it, but
so were they just, like, outcasts because no one had really seen that before? So they thought maybe they thought something, like,
it's
they were
so rare. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. So that's just, like, one theory.
Unless it was truly just, like, white settlers who ended up here before anybody knew about it.
And that is theory number 2. Pre-Columbian Welsh settlers. So, the Welsh theory. Now, some historians, and maybe even Adele, I don't know, they believe that the Moon-Eyed people were descendants of Prince Madoc, who was a Welsh explorer who supposedly sailed to America in the 12th century. So legend has it that Madoc landed somewhere along the Gulf Coast and eventually made his way into the Appalachia region. So the pale skin and stone building skills of the Moon-Eyed people could support that theory, because, they've been building walls like that in that part of the world forever. And they can be shorter in stature, fair skin. Kind of makes sense. But what are the odds, though, that a bunch of medieval Welsh folks just casually set up shop in Appalachia? Like you were saying, like, that every single one of them, like,
yeah, like, and that's kind of pretty far inland, too.
It is. So, okay. Maybe. Third theory. ETs. Now, you knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. Sensitive to sunlight, pale, and possibly subterranean, and, like, moon eyes. Now, if that doesn't scream aliens, I really don't know what does. So, some believe the Moon Eyed people were visitors from another world, and they were basically here to mine resources or study humans. And when the Cherokee got tired of their glowing eyes and weird habits, they packed up their spaceship and left. Now, it's a stretch, but this is Stormy Willow, and we don't rule anything out.
But I thought
Maybe,
like a lot of Native American origin stories have to do with caves.
right? Or
So,
maybe it's
I
like the
mean,
first time
it,
I played.
it sounds to me like potentially there were cave dwelling people, cultures, or
Yeah,
something to be a part of the origin stories in so many. I don't know.
exactly.
I really
I don't
don't
know
know.
either. Now, this is a fun one as well. Theory number 4: fairies, dwarfs, or perhaps little cryptids.
There we go.
Who
Little
knows?
chupas.
Yeah, little tiny chupas. So, another theory ties the Moon Eyed people to fairies or dwarfs from European folklore. So, now the parallels are a little uncanny, right? We've got small stature, underground homes, and an aversion to sunlight. I mean, it checks.
Yeah.
Some even speculate they could be an Appalachian version of the infamous gray aliens from UFO lore. I don't think they're the
I
grays.
don't think they're the Greys.
Because let's face it, Appalachia is already spooky enough without throwing fairies into the mix. But I'm not buying the gray. I don't feel like they fit the gray.
The, the Greys
The
seem
gray.
like they visit and don't stay here.
Yeah,
I don't believe that. I mean, I'm speaking as if we know that the Greys.
we know them
It doesn't
personally.
sound on brand for the Greys to stay.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So those are the 4 main theories, and I don't know if you guys have one that you think fits. I don't think any of them fit 100%. Um,
And it's like, I know I always take it back to the movie The Descent, but those sound and even look like the creatures from The Descent, which takes place in North Carolina, in the mountains, and they live underground, and they're
there
almost more
you go.
bat-like, and they're really pale and they're blind. They're just like bat people who eat
Yeah,
anything.
it could be. You're right. I just feel like I just wonder why the Cherokee, like, what was it that made them want to get rid of them and make them leave? Like, what happened?
It
Was it
must have
just
been.
they were just scared of the way they looked or something? Or did something happen to make them like really like freak them out?
Yeah, it's like were they kidnapping some of their people? Like,
Yeah, like what
I don't
was
know.
it? But we did talk a little earlier about the mystery of Fort Mountain, and Kelly, if you're listening, I bet you probably know this because you probably been to this part. But so they talk a lot about the stone wall at Fort Mountain, Georgia. And so the structure is 850 feet long and it's made of these stacked stones. And there's, like I said earlier, there's no mortar like really holding them together. And so archaeologists estimate that this wall probably dates back to around 500 AD. But nobody knows who built it or why. And so the Cherokee lore attributes it to like the only like they attribute it to the Moon-eyed people. So that's the only thing that they can find. But
Oh,
some archaeologists think it might have been constructed for ceremonial purposes or as a defensive like structure. Like they built a wall.
oh, there you go.
So if you ever visit Fort Mountain State Park, you can still see remnants of this wall. So it almost seems like there was definitely some conflict here, like between the Cherokee and the Moonite people. Like they put up this wall, like, stay out of our space. And I don't know what happened, like what caused
Geez, it was 500
it.
AD. I wonder if it
500
was like,
AD.
I feel like now it was probably a slightly different species.
It could have been like it's
Like something an ancestor to like the missing link. Maybe even the missing link. Probably not, but I don't know. I'm really thinking it was probably just, I don't know when Australopithecines and those things went, you know, away. But I'm thinking it was probably an earlier hominid kind of coexisting with Homo sapiens.
Maybe. It's true. And that could be the missing link, and they just somehow
Or
like meshed
clue.
this lore with it.
Yeah. Either way, I don't think
No.
it was one of them, obviously. And they were right.
No.
Yeah. I just question if it was even a Homo sapien or if it was more like a Neanderthal group. Probably not. They don't sound big. Oh, but
No, they're
there
small.
were really small beings too
Yeah.
existed. I mean, I'm no expert, but I do remember taking physical anthropology. And I don't know, we just assume, right, based off of the archaeological record and what we can find, that some of these things existed roughly at like time, certain. What I'm
Well,
trying
you
to
don't know
say
for
is it
sure.
seems like every year we find out life started at a different place and longer ago than we thought. And I'm
Right.
thinking the same goes with all of the other I guess cousins we had at the same time that all died out. And maybe they just didn't. That at
Maybe.
500 AD, they could have totally still been around.
Exactly. It's
It's kind of
weird.
even talking about like the walls of Jericho and stuff, right? Like a lot of people think the Nephilim were giants in the Bible, but a lot of people are like, I bet they were Australopithecines or one of those, or like Homo ergaster, one of the really big beings before Homo sapiens. Because they're all
Right.
existing at the same time for a minute.
That's very
Makes sense to
true.
me.
So there's no telling, what these moon-eyed people were. So another big part of this mystery is why did they vanish? Like what happened? Like why? And so I mean that's kind of like the million-dollar question. It's
Or
like what
did they?
happened to people, you
Or are they
know?
still around just further other ground?
Yes. So some say that they were completely wiped out by the Cherokee, while others believe that they assimilated into other tribes or maybe they just fled the region altogether. But there are also a few theories that suggest that they retreated into caves and that they are still alive today. And like you said, they really feel like possibly they went underground and they're still alive, like this underground culture, like you were saying, that they're still here. They're just
I would
built this city
imagine.
underground.
I just imagine most realistically it's a little bit of both. I think like a lot of them probably fled, but maybe you have one or two who are a little different and maybe more curious, and then they interbred with other beings. And it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. It's like lost in our DNA. No.
it's crazy. But now you know that I was not going to wrap this up without a modern day sighting.
Oh, yes.
Now, hikers in Appalachia have reopened, or reported, I'm sorry, sounds, glowing eyes, and shadowy figures near, you guessed it, caves. Could this be remnants of the Moon Eyed people, or is it just an overactive imagination fueled by campfire stories? Either way, it's a solid reminder to stay out of caves unless you want to become someone else's campfire story.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's
No,
so many like TikToks on like the maps of missing people though and how it's right on top of the cave systems.
it is like
So
it's
it's like
crazy.
maybe they fall in, maybe they get taken.
We've covered a lot of
Yeah.
stories, and I don't, guys. It just really makes me want to be a city folk. It's scary.
I'm just saying, like, we still don't really know diddly squat about the core of the earth or the ocean. I'm
We
just not ruling
don't.
anything out.
There's so much out there, and I feel like Appalachia is a whole nother like out there in the forest. Oh shit! Like there's no telling what's out there.
It seems like there's
There's
all
no
sorts of
telling.
stuff out in the Appalachians, not just the moon, like everything.
So another thing, I mean, this is definitely more than just folklore. Like people are like cultures are very fascinated with this. And so like you can find podcasts, YouTube channels and books and ghost tours about the Moon-Eyed people because they just really captivate the imagination. Like, you know, I mean, they're just like, who are they? Where do they go? Are they still here? So there's still a lot of unanswered questions about them. So, I mean, just a final thought for me. What's the verdict? I mean, do we think that the Moon Eyed people are an ancient tribe? Are they lost European settlers or something else entirely? I mean, the truth is, we'll probably never know. But one thing's for sure, they left their mark on the Appalachian history in our imaginations.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, I mean, keep your eyes on the skies. Please avoid caves. and maybe invest in the good night light just in case.
Best not to go out at
But
night in the Appalachians.
maybe, yeah, like I feel like the Appalachians are hella haunted.
I feel like those are not that's not our habitat. Like,
And I just feel like I'm always so amazed by the people, tons of people that go hiking and backpacking out there. And I'm like, I'm
alone
so
too.
scared. Yes, one of my friends has for 2 weeks by herself. And I'm like, you're the bravest person I know.
I mean, I get
Because
so
I,
paranoid in
yeah.
my tent at night sometimes. And it's not even about people. I'm like, yeah, a person could totally just walk up and kill us in our sleep.
Yes.
But I'm like, what? Because I live out here in the desert, and I don't know why I'm like, oh yeah, a snake's gonna be out there in 30-degree, like it gets really cold out here at night. But I always imagine a snake biting me through the tent wall because I always sleep kind of in the corner. And I'm like, what if a rattlesnake crawled up
It's
because
all
they're pit
curled up
vipers,
there.
right? And I'm like, it sees my body
Oh.
heat and just bites my foot from outside of the
And now you got to worry about moon-eyed people. I mean, it's just too much,
I
guys. It's too
just
much.
don't
It's a lot.
stay
It's a
indoors.
lot. But I really love this lore, and I love, I love a good lore, and I love that it was Cherokee lore. But it definitely poses a lot of questions.
I'd be
Who
willing to go
knows?
on a hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I would. I mean, I'm not hanging out in a cave.
I mean, I'm
Like,
not gonna
I'm
like
not.
sleep overnight in the cave, but like during the day, I wouldn't mind going to see like,
Yeah.
is there evidence of any of this?
Yeah. And I would like to go to the state park and see remnants of what was built
Or
there.
maybe
That's gonna
just
be
put up
cool.
some trail cams,
Yeah, maybe that
do some
there it is.
surveillance is what I mean.
Let's put up some trail cams and then we'll go in town, hang out,
Watch
and
that
then
shit
go
from our
back.
hotel room that night.
That's yes. Now you're talking. Now
Put
you're
up some
talking.
thermal
Yeah, I like
imaging to see if we get some body heat signatures, like
I really like that plan. That's a good
eat some
plan. I'm down
pizza.
with that. We'll make some s'mores in the hotel room. It'll be great.
That's how we explore.
Yes.
That's our request.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I love that. But I don't know, guys. I mean, they may be underground, they may be in the skies. Who knows? But it's
I
a
don't know.
spooky
It's
story.
just the more we discover about humans, like even just neurodivergence, just in like the last decade, I'm like, I just think we're barely scratching the surface of DNA.
For
We
real.
keep
I think
just
you're
digging and
absolutely
digging
right.
and then finding more and more the more we,
And it's like, do we want to know? Are we fucking around and find it out?
yeah, I'm just
Or do we
like,
want to just stop? I don't know. It is
I mean,
fascinating.
I guess that's the silver lining with all these fucking natural disasters. We're finding all sorts of crap in the archaeological record. We're like, oh, uh-oh, what was that thing
Yeah,
doing here that we didn't know about? That kind of destroys our whole theory.
yeah. I mean, things are definitely getting unearthed, and who knows? Maybe with everything that's happening, maybe they'll make a resurgence and be like, "Hey, I know about you because I heard about you on the Stormy Willow podcast."
Yeah, maybe the Moon-Eyed people are just laying low until humanity destroys itself, and then
And they're
they'll
like,
be
"We're
the
bad
next
bitches."
thing.
Yeah, it was their plan all
We'll just
along.
sit this out. We see conflict in the
Yeah,
future. We're just gonna ride this out.
that's exactly right. I love
Like
it.
their strategy.
I do too.
Because it's
Oh
like,
my.
hey, the ground temperatures are too fucking hot now. It's gonna be like the
It's
Matrix. Everybody's at the core of the Earth where it's still warm.
you and the Matrix. It always comes back to the
It's gonna be
Matrix.
Zion. I mean, not Zion, not the stupid car. They're
They're coming out on a
coming out in
sign
a
off.
fucking Scion.
We're back.
Beep, beep, beep. Hop in, you idiots.
I've got to change our cover art now.
Driving a Scion out from the depths of the
Yes,
like Earth.
the core of the earth. Yeah, with their big eyes. Yeah,
It,
it's not me, guys. I don't have a Scion. Oh, Adele. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. So hopefully I shared something a new lore that you haven't heard of. Um,
well,
but very
if we do
good
go explore
job.
the Appalachians, I know what rental car I'm getting.
Yeah, do it. Let's do it. And only the brood will get it. Like everybody else will be like, I
Why are you
don't
driving
like
a Scion?
like oh, never mind. You're not one of the brood. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Joke. Oh gosh. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story. And Adele already spun the wheel
I
last
did.
week,
We're
and
done.
so she's ready to
I
go
still
with our next
haven't,
topic.
even with an extra week, I still haven't done shit.
It's okay.
But yeah, next week
Got time.
I will be covering a cult. I have a few good ones. I just can't choose.
We haven't done a cult in a while. I was like cult mania for a hot minute.
Well, you guys let
Uh,
me know what you want to hear. Because
yeah.
I have
Do you have one?
three I'm considering. I'm just not sure. Do you guys
I
want
would love to
nudity
hear
or
one of those.
violence?
Well, with some of these cults, you'll probably find both.
Well, that's true. But yeah, maybe I'll pull you guys if you want to hear more about like nudity and that kind of stuff or really bad violence. You just let me know which one. I know which one Sarah
Well,
wants.
you're always there to please, Adele. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the nudity. It's heavy right now. I don't think we need more violence.
We may not can take any more of that.
I
We might
mean,
need to keep it light.
it doesn't matter what you do. If you do it naked, it's instantly funny.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, like they have these races, like one of my friends was telling me about, where like you run naked, and I would just the thought of like all these naked people in like sneakers. So like,
Like,
I
like
can't do it.
Chicago has the naked bike ride every year, and I'm just
Oh
like,
no!
ah,
Can you imagine if you fell? Like, and I fall a lot, so I'm just like,
I'm
no,
just thinking about how sweaty I get while I'm riding my bike and how nasty that bike seat would get. Ugh.
no,
Just
no,
people's.
thank you.
I'd have
This
to
is not
sit
for
on a
me.
towel or something. I'd be like, I can't just like bare ass this bike seat. It's gonna like touch my
Oh, like you could
asshole.
get so like I can't even imagine like the burn,
Like
man.
that seat
Oh.
would be all up your actual ass. Like, ew. It'd smell like shoo shoo forever.
Just don't do
Just
it.
don't.
Don't do
I
it.
would rather do the naked.
Guys, stay out of caves and please don't run or ride your bicycle naked. Just don't. Don't do that, okay?
Don't take to violence, take to streaking.
Quickly.
Just everybody get mad and rip your clothes off. Stop blowing up stuff.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there are other ways to make a statement, guys.
Yeah, just do it with your pale skin, just like the moon people. It was your
That's
statement.
right. Unleash your moon eyes.
The moon-eyed people. They're like, hey, look
Oh,
at my eyes. Why are you looking down at other stuff? Look at my moon eyes.
like,
My eyes are up here. Let me get my Scion
oh.
drive off.
Yeah, I've got to redo the cover art for sure. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed our podcast. I hope it made you laugh a little bit. I know we all needed some humor this week, and we hope that we brought you some of that. And as we say here on our podcast, stay safe out there, friends,
Stay curious.
and never trust the
The
living
living.
or a cave.
And always drive in luxury.
Always. This episode is brought to you by Scion. Bye, you guys.
Later, taters.